is our dance break. If you are comfortable and able and want to, because I'm not the boss of you, I would like you to stand up. And I want you to raise your arms up and do 1/4 of the YMCA, just the Y. And I want you to realize that your feet are planted and the earth has your back, or literally your feet. If you want, close your eyes, keep your arms up, and show us your armpits. This isn't just fun, it's neuroscience, it's chemistry, it's woo-woo and science. Take a couple deep breaths here, and then whenever you want to, you can sit back down. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So who feels a little bit better after doing that, right? Who goes to a concert and is in the front row? Like, yes. Or if you're in a religious community and you use your arms to like shout it, that feels good. That isn't just woo-woo, that is science. That is what I call the cortisol stretch. So we have this amazing, beautiful hormone in us. We have many called cortisol. And it's our fight or flight hormone. It interacts with other things. I'm not a doctor scientist. I am fascinated by this stuff, so I'm always reading about it. So I know what I know, and sometimes I get the terminology wrong. But so we just did the cortisol stretch. Cortisol lets us know when there's a snake. You see a snake and you freak out, right? That's your cortisol. When you hear a horn and you're driving and you snap back, that's your cortisol doing its job. That's great, except when it's too much cortisol, except for when we're addicted to it, okay? There's actually a syndrome called Cushing, like pushing, but Cushing syndrome, where people, you'll see certain body types. I want you to all look it up for yourself. They become addicted to their cortisol influx. It's just this little hit. It's like when we're addicted to our cell phones going off. Oh, someone wants to buy my painting. I better look at my phone right away, right? This little, it can also come in, maybe you're a little bit too quick to be interested in the gossip, because that gossip gives you a little jolt of cortisol. You're a little too quick to be mad at the person who cut in front of you at the supermarket. You got a little cortisol shot there. So when it's not working for you, it's really not working for you. And so here are some of the things that too much cortisol or cortisol at the wrong time can do to you. It can lead to hunger, that's weird, arthritis, decreased immune system, so a slower immune system, depression, right? Sleep deprivation, migraines, tunnel vision. When I work with my private clients, we don't get to this for a couple of sessions, but I hear people tick off each of these things over and over and over again. And I ask them to please get a physical, see your doctor, do what you gotta do. So you can read this. I don't need to read all these things to you, but it's all connected. It's all connected. This stance helps to just drop your cortisol a little bit. There's no negative side effect unless you hit your buddy in the eye as you're doing it. Right before you have to go in for a meeting, right before you have to talk to your spouse about the thing, right before you come to a conference and have to talk to a bunch of people in their fancy new vintage dress. I was in the bathroom doing it. Show us your armpits. It's going to make you better. Questions or? Okay, so this is going to lead me to my discussion about what we're bringing into our lives. This dude, Dr. Joseph Dispenza, I like him a lot. Go to YouTube, find him. Some of the stuff he says is controversial depending on where you sit, on what line you sit. But basically, he's talking about here in this, what I'm trying to get at is all of the things that we see all the time, but the things that we actually think that we see all the time. So I can see that if I were to lie down on this carpet, I would look fabulous, right? But I also am seeing and not recognizing the exit signs and the Pepsi cans and the blah, 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 blah. So we're seeing so much more stuff than we actually think we're seeing. And we need to be mindful of it. So I'm going to eventually trademark the Gigi effect. Garbage in, garbage inner, right? So what are we bringing into our bodies, our minds, our eyes, our houses, our cars, right? Are you driving to work and listening to podcasts about serial killers? And then you're guilty. And then you're expected to be polite and friendly and happy and feel good about yourself, right? And interact with strangers. So what are you bringing in? Your social media. Are you in the scroll hole? That's what my biz club we call scroll hole. Scrolling too much on stuff you don't need to be looking at. Who are your buddies? You know, it's been said over and over, who are the 5 people you hang out with most? And I know if you have 6 kids and a husband, then that's your group, right? But outside of that, who are you hanging out with? Who are you having lunch with? It may be a small lunchroom, but you don't have to sit with the person who's bitching about the boss, right? Do you have gossip ears? So maybe you're not talking the gossip, but maybe you like listening to the gossip. Just investigate. With this, when garbage comes in, it gets in us, and as you can see, that shit gets into us, and we need to be mindful of it. All right, this is the big stuff, okay? This I'm really proud of. Okay, so everything was created by a thought. Everything, like the tablecloth. Someone thought, let's cover this table. I'm gonna make a tablecloth. These shoes. Somebody thought, I don't want to step on splinters. Let's make shoes. So everything was a thought. And we really can't control those thoughts, kinda. Thoughts come in, thoughts come in, thoughts come in. And we have a chance to be able to amend how they interact with us. Okay, our thoughts are gonna lead to feelings. My thought is, people are gonna be interested in what I'm saying, right? That's gonna lead to a feeling of feeling less than. It's gonna make me slouch. I have written on my notes, don't slouch. If I have this thought, oh, my in-laws, they think I'm not educated enough to be in this family. That's gonna lead to me feeling dumb, feeling less, right? So our feelings eventually lead to actions. Once we feel something, like I said, I slouched. I felt less, I slouched. That was an action. And then there was an outcome. For that one, my back is eventually gonna hurt, right? I'm gonna see a picture of myself from today and see the slouch and be like, oh, that was not how I wanted to be represented. This works for everything. This works for everything. You have this sheet of paper in front of you. I'd love for you to write this down. You see that big oval at the top? I'd love for you to write this down. Thoughts lead to feelings. Feelings lead to action. And your actions will always lead to an outcome. And I'm going to have a cup of tea while you do that. On my diagram, you can see that I have a double arrow with the thoughts and feelings, because I feel like if only you remembered that, that's kind of a circuit. here's the good news. We can own it, right? We can capture this by stopping that double-headed arrow, or capturing it, or just looking at it, or just recognizing, or just admitting to it, okay? Again, this is simple for me to say, but not easy in practice until you really have done this a lot, okay? So another thing that I do, I'm an animal rights activist, and this week I did something terrible to a mouse. And in the past, if this was before I had worked so hard on my thought to feeling interaction, it would have destroyed me for the day at least, right? I would have told everybody about it. I would have blogged, I would have been emo, I would have, eaten too much crap, feeling bad about it. But I took a moment and I was like, I have control here. I have control here to not feel badly. It was not my intent to hurt this mouse in the way that I did. I was trying to do something good, it didn't work out. I had control, which meant that my actions for the rest of the day, I didn't just sit on the couch. I went up and I got my ass out to the art studio and I made art. My outcome was I made art, and then I sold a painting. Versus I sat in bed and felt shitty because I had done something wrong to this mouse. That dotted line is everything I'm standing for right now. Your dotted line, you have the ability to capture between that thought and that feeling. Yes, I can?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can?
Yes, I can.